Darling's story began when we got a call from another local animal shelter that had just taken 40 dogs from a single home. They needed our help, so our team drove over there in vans with dog carriers stacked high in the back, prepared to fill as many as we could. We left with 15 dogs. Darling was one of them.
She's safe, but she's lethargic. She spends a lot of time sleeping. Teeth are all stained, which makes me think they were chewing on metal bars. So I'm betting they were probably graded to some degree.
Of the 15 dogs we took, all were suffering from neglect in some way or another. Some were terrified of people, some had fur matted to their tiny bodies, and most were malnourished. Darling was starving to death. She barely had any fur left, and despite living in a home where she probably never got to interact with humans, she was the most sweet and trusting of the bunch. She was blind, anemic, underweight, and suffered from various infections. We got to work right away on her treatment. Darling loved all the attention she was getting. It's not every day that you see an animal that gets excited to have their blood drawn or to be poked and prodded, but to Darling, that was the first time she was experiencing love. She was just so happy that someone was finally paying attention to her. Not only was this poor girl starving for food, but she was clearly starved for love as well. Her transformation was everything we were hoping for and more. Her eyes cleared up, she put on weight, and her fur grew in. She was healthy. It was such a stunning change. It truly felt like we were watching her age backwards. Everything about her became more alive. This 4-year-old dog came to us looking like she was so old she was on the brink of death. If it weren't for our hardworking, dedicated medical team and the Second Chance Medical Fund, she simply wouldn't be alive. Darling is now named Daisy and is living the beautiful life she deserves. Her owner says, "We both sleep better now. I'm so happy we found one another."